You're listening to Real Talk, censored radio. It's censored because a lot of the stuff that you see on Facebook, and yes, oh my God. And as we go to the superhighway, things like, I like that, I like this. Something as simple as going online and then finding out that there's words like content creation, and then you find out there's an elaborate plan that deconstructs users and subscribers. And I would consider that normal operation, probably charts and targeted audience and stuff that you would do in the media. What was really bothersome about the Senate hearings is how elaborate that plan is to censor a lot of groups. Like, I saw this firsthand because I don't have to lay out the plan for you to know this, but I saw Stop the Steal as being censored on Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg was grilled by Ron Johnson, Mike Lee, and Ted Cruz, all senators. And during that hearing, what I heard is that they would get back to them about that, kind of handle it like in a business manner. The business of social media is not to censor us and our freedom of speech, freedom of press. And I can think of a couple things that come to mind when I think about free press. I think about Drudge Report, who obviously does not like Trump. And there was a time I remember when I first started doing blogging and radio blogs like this, that Drudge Report was the place to go. And then there's a lot of new media that is trying to get into the niche. So somebody mentioned this about the other media companies like Facebook, Twitter. The large ones are in what they call a monopoly. And I agree. It's very hard for new media to get its start and to get subscribers. And let me just say this. I didn't go on here with the intention of being in this for the long run. I went into this as to learn about radio broadcasting. That's why we started Amateur Radio Network, because it's a teaching tool, and it's supposed to teach you what the demographics are, target audience, and what you want to have in as far as radio. So we tried a few different things: censored radio, Moonlight Lounge, the Court of Public Opinion, all shows written, and doing scene work. And what I have learned is that the average person doesn't do scene work. They don't do graphic design. They don't really do all that. They just go on and they want to just talk to people that are like-minded. There's a lot of work that goes into what we're doing here, so that you know. So when I think of content creation, that makes more sense to me. But there was a time that language didn't exist. Text language didn't exist. That was shorthand in high school for me. And I look at the way we think. We think with our fingertips now, instant gratification. We want the answer now, With a click of a button, you can get this done, and life moves very fast on the superhighway. And we just got to slow down. But I said that to say this, that I was not going to do a broadcast, but I think because the word censorship is coming up all the time now, that this is appropriate for us, censored radio. It was always my fear that we be blocked for disagreeing was always my concern, that I would not be able to fully keep a page going on Facebook. And I was looking for other sites. I was looking at other places, but a lot of those things have to grow. Like there's other social pages that have a lot of bugs in it. So it'll take some time for these things to catch on. Like, I'll get an example. What's really catching on is Parler. It's an alternative to Twitter. But I think a lot of people, they want to be able to go on Twitter, they want to go on Facebook without the fear or threat of losing their content, their intellectual property. And to me, this is why it's so important to follow these hearings and to find out where this is going, because, you know, a lot of us have a lot invested, and we don't realize the time we invested into it until you look back to when I was in 2009 when I first logged on. I just realized, like, where this has taken me. Where are we going with this, you know? Do I have to lose my marriage over it? Or, you know, like, there's a lot of people that cheat and use and lie. And they do a lot of stuff on social media that you wouldn't be able to get away with, you know, face to face. So that's why I'm like, you don't want to get caught up in all the criticism that goes on. And there's a lot of critics on social media. People that you call your friends are critics, and your old friends in high school no longer talk to you. And this is not what social media was intended for, or was it? So I wanted to leave off with that, but we were talking about censored radio. A lot of topics about censorship will be in our future talk shows, segments. Thank you for listening to this segment. Real Talk Live has been postponed until further notice. Thank you for listening to Censored Radio here at YouTube. Censored Radio is a part of the Amateur Radio Network.